What's going on, guys? JSGC here, back again with another Manchester City live stream, where today we're going to be doing the live watch-along of Manchester City's away game in the Premier League against Chelsea. That's right, we're returning back to Premier League action for the first time in nearly a month. Manchester City facing a huge boost yesterday in the early Saturday kickoff. Arsenal at home against AFC Bournemouth. Before the game, things were out of Manchester City's hands. We needed favours. We're needing Arsenal to drop points. We're needing them to lose a game. That then could put things back into Manchester City's hands and opens up the gloriousness of goal difference. And that's exactly what happened. I wasn't expecting it. I'm sure a lot of other people weren't expecting it. But Arsenal at home lost yesterday against AFC Bournemouth by 2-1. It now means that Manchester City have got 2 games in hand. First of the game in hand taking place today away against Chelsea. Chelsea competing for a Champions League spot for next season. So a competitive game here, who I'm sure Chelsea won't want to do Arsenal any favours, but they've first and foremost got to focus on themselves, and I'm sure, like a lot of the fans, would be willing to sacrifice a game against Manchester City if it meant that Arsenal potentially don't win the Premier League. However, from the football players who are on the pitch, they're going to want to keep things competitive. They're going to want to try and compete with Manchester City, try and take points off Man City today, because that aids Chelsea's progress in trying to secure Champions League football for next season. So Manchester City have a job to do here in what is a very difficult away match. But if we can win this game in hand, that 9-point gap that could have been 12 points yesterday could go down to 6. From 12 potentially down to 6. That's how close the margins are in the Premier League. So this is, for me, Man City's biggest Premier League game of the season. Arsenal lost yesterday. We've got to capitalise with a win if we want to win the Premier League. As far as City are concerned, playing near enough once every week now from now to the end of the season. It's got to be perfect. 8 games for Manchester City, 24 points available. We've got to maximise that. 8 games, 8 wins, potentially could be enough for Man City to win the Premier League. And if we do win them 8 games, Arsenal, if they win every game, apart from next weekend's game against Manchester City, if Man City are to win that, then it will come down to goal difference. So, if there's wins there available for Man City, they've got to capitalise and start trying to win by as many as possible. And this is because Man City are not in the Champions League now. This is what favours Manchester City ahead of Arsenal in terms of goal difference, because, for example, I'm expecting Arsenal to make it past Sporting CP midweek. It means it's going to set up a date against Barcelona or Atletico Madrid in the Champions League semi-final. They're going to want to start to preserve energy, preserve legs ahead of some big games to come. So it means, in the Premier League games sandwiched before, between and after them Champions League semi-final games, it means that Arsenal are going to have to try and rotate a little bit, and they're going to look to try and compete for 55, 60 minutes. Hope that's enough, and then start to make the changes. So I fancy that if Arsenal are going to start to win games, they're not going to start, winning. They could win handsomely, but I'm not expecting them to be delivering hammerings to teams. So when winning, I'm talking, winning by 1, 2, maybe 3 at most. So it's important, because we're 6 goal difference behind Arsenal. If we can win our games, that's what we're playing catch-up with. We also have the added bonus that we've got an extra game in hand at home against Crystal Palace. First and foremost, you'd need to focus on picking the 3 points up and winning that game. However, you'd be looking at it and saying, if Man City can go on to win and win big, win by 3, 4, 5 goals, all of a sudden that goal difference is turned around. And it gets further complicated because Man City play Arsenal next weekend. A huge 6-pointer for both sides. Man City can win next weekend and win here away against Chelsea. That 12-point potential gap that could have been yesterday will be narrowed down to 3, with Man City having a game in hand. And remember the importance of next weekend's game against Arsenal. Same mentality as what I was just speaking about in the Crystal Palace game. Your first focus has got to be winning that game. If there's the opportunity to win by 2 or 3, got to capitalise upon it. And let's say, for argument's sake, that Man City can match what they did in the Carabao Cup final just before the March international break, win 2-0, for example, then all of a sudden, that's a swing of 4 in goal difference. That means then that Man City make 2 gains on Arsenal and Arsenal lose 2. So that +6 that they've got on City would become +2 in favour of Arsenal, and Manchester City have that game in hand against Crystal Palace. Plenty of games, plenty of points, plenty of goal difference still to play for this season. This game, huge. If Man City want to win the Premier League, got to win this game. As simple as that. So, before we speak about the teams and the live watch-along and everything going on in this game, I first wanted to say a big thank you to today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by My Best 11 Pro. You can go and check them out. Links and details, they're in the description. You've got the QR code on screen if you want to go and check out My Best 11 Pro, a free app to download. They've got a couple of pool pots available for you guys, which will be next available on the next round of Premier League fixtures, so next weekend, including the big Manchester City Arsenal game. They've got prediction pool available. They've also got their fantasy pool available. £100 pot, paying up to the top 5 places. So do go and check them out. Links and details there in the description. And a big thank you to My Best 11 Pro for sponsoring today's live watch. Anyone that does check them out does help to support the future content created here on my channel. As I said, links and details there in the description. I'm going to paste the link into the chat as well. If you do want to go check them out, that would be much appreciated. And a big thank you to My Best 11 Pro for sponsoring today's live watch along. Also don't forget as well, guys, to leave a thumbs up. We're aiming for 100 likes on today's stream. So any help towards that would be fantastic. Already making good gains towards that, more than a quarter of our way to that goal. We're now just 74 likes away, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Also don't forget as well to get your thoughts in the live chat where you're tuning in from today and what your score predictions are. I'm going to say hello to the chat in just one moment. Also don't forget social media links in the description if you want to go follow me on my X, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And finally, also don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you are new around here. My Best 11 is where football knowledge pays off. So heading over to the chat, welcome John, thank you very much for tuning in, helping to moderate today's chat as well. So a quick reminder, a couple of rules on the JSGC live watch-alongs. It includes keeping things nice and friendly, nice and clean. That would be much appreciated. Any bad language, anything that's inappropriate that's being used, I'd appreciate my moderators just getting rid of people out of the stream. That would be much appreciated. And also, no spoiling it for others. I would appreciate that. There's nothing worse than having, things being spoiled for you if other people are ahead of you in real time. I'm watching today on Now TV. It's a broadcasting thing that's used in the United Kingdom with games that are available on Sky Sports, which is what today's game is, which means that there are going to be people who are watching in real time who may be a few seconds ahead of me. So I would appreciate nobody spoiling it for me by ruining what things are going on in the game, including big moments, things like goals, things like red cards, anything that's game change, anything like that, because I can't give an authentic reaction if people are spoiling it. So if anybody is spoiling it and putting spoilers in there, then I'd appreciate my moderators once more just getting rid of people out of the stream. People, you have been warned. That would be much appreciated. Other than that, just enjoy yourselves and have a good time. We can chat all things Manchester City. Welcome and done. Thank you for tuning in. It is a must-win game today for Manchester City. Uncle, welcome. It says Spurs will be relegated. He's dreaming Spurs, of course, losing today against Sunderland. West Ham picked up a big win on Friday evening against Wolverhampton Wanderers. 4-0 now. Spurs have got a lot of work to do. Igor Tudor got rid of him, brought in De Zerbi, really good manager. And he's got his work cut out for him, and he'll have signed his big, long, expensive contract with Spurs in mind that he's going to be the man who's going to lead them up the Premier League table and continue for them to continue to play in the Premier League. Yet there is a very realistic chance in the next 6 games or so that Spurs could be relegated, which, boom, mind-blowing, guys. Dave, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Says, best of luck, City. A scruffy 1-0 win would be nice. Don't worry about goal difference. You can win it on points. It could well happen. Arsenal could drop points. Man City could drop points between now and the end of the season. You know, if Man City drop points today, it's a blow for our Premier League title hopes. It's not the end of the title race, but it's a big blow. And I'm looking at, I don't want to get too far ahead. I'm just looking at this weekend and next weekend. We know that we're playing Chelsea away today, and we've got a difficult game at home against Arsenal next weekend. And what is, for me, some very tricky fixtures that we've had. Arsenal in the Carabao Cup final, followed by a game against Liverpool in the FA Cup quarter-final at home, followed by an away game against Chelsea, and then a home game against Arsenal. And I'm thinking to myself that if Man City go on to win all of them games, this domestic treble that people have been speaking about is very much on. So for me, focus is obviously today is going to be on Chelsea. We don't need to rotate. We don't need to rest legs. We could just go all guns blazing here to do everything we can to try and win. And if we can win and then push forward and try and win against Arsenal next weekend, puts Manchester City in a very, very promising position. But as Geffen says, we've got to capitalise upon Arsenal losing yesterday. And for me, picking up a point today is making some gains on Arsenal, but with how big the gap is, 9 points, it's not enough. We've got to win today. Win today, win next weekend, and I will say the Premier League title race very much on. This is as difficult as it will get for Manchester City. Chelsea away, one of the most difficult away games in the calendar. We've got to win it. Arsenal at home, very difficult home game. We've got to win it. If you want to win Premier League titles, we've got to win these games. Realistically, we need to be winning 8 out of 8. I could go as far to say I think 8 out of 8 for Man City will be enough to win the Premier League. We'll have to wait and see. I think that depends a lot on when Man City's rearranged games are going to be. Will Man City get to an FA Cup final to decide on how often we're going to be playing through the end of April into early May? And also, how far are Arsenal going to get in the Champions League? It could be a case that by the time Man City play Arsenal next week, that potentially Arsenal could be out of the Champions League. They picked up a narrow win against Sporting TP. Sporting TP will be saying it's just one win, one goal, and that can change it all. And Southampton have beaten Arsenal, knocked them out of the FA Cup. Man City made short work of Arsenal at Wembley. Bournemouth beat Arsenal at home yesterday. It's not project impossible. So this is Arsenal right now. They're imploding. They're getting to a point of no return, and I fancy that there's going to be some kind of big hit coming in from Arsenal at some point. I'm just hoping that in the course of the next couple of weeks that it's not going to happen against us, and we can maximise upon that and get Arsenal under pressure. I maintained through February, and we had our good run of form, that all you need to do to play catch up to Arsenal business end of the season, get them under pressure, and they'll bottle, they'll crack. Because it's what Arsenal do. What we don't want to do is allow Arsenal to run away with it, because then they won't bottle and they won't crack. Arsenal yesterday bottled and cracked. We need to capitalise. 3 points minimum. We don't pick up 3 points, Arsenal are celebrating, and it means then that that result that Arsenal had yesterday, it doesn't matter, and they're over it. And they'll go from having a sleepless night to sleeping very well because they've got that big cushion. We've got it back in our own hands again today. We've got to capitalise on it. Must win today for Manchester City. Uncle says that if Haaland brings his shooting boots, Man City win this game by 4-1. I'd love that one. Andrew reckons just needs the 3 points for Man City, which I do agree with. Geffen says we need to capitalise. We definitely need to capitalise on Arsenal dropping points yesterday. Geffen going with a real positive 4-0. 4-0 would really set the cat amongst the pigeons with Arsenal. Really would. Corey, welcome. Going with a 3-1 victory for Manchester City. Raf, thank you for tuning in. Reckons we're going to pick up an easy win. I don't think it's going to be easy. Nothing easy or straightforward about Chelsea. We dropped points against Chelsea at home back in January. They're a tricky team to play against. They can be a funny team, a real inconsistent team. They could be really poor, and they can also play really well. And there's a few players for Chelsea who have got a real point to prove. So as I said before, if you ask the Chelsea fans, it'd be an odd game where you ask the Chelsea fans what they want to happen. They'll want Chelsea today to lose because they won't want Arsenal to win the Premier League. However, the players aren't going to have that mentality. The players want to be playing in the Champions League, which means they've got to pick up points today because otherwise they're continuing to play catch-up behind the likes of Aston Villa, who have dropped points. Liverpool won yesterday. Manchester United have still got to play tomorrow against Leeds United. So there's lots and lots of things that are going on. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. Tito, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. It says, ruthless performance to strike fear in Arsenal ahead of the meeting next week. That a statement win. That would be perfect. Greg, thanks for tuning in. Says, must-win game. So 2-goal win for City. And he'll be happy with that. I'd be delighted with that. Uncle says, the scary truth is that Pep was building this team to dominate for the 26-27. But we're now starting to dominate this season. Well, we need to continue and go with that momentum. Raf says, after that Madrid game at the Etihad, I could tell that we were getting better here and we're beating Arsenal and Liverpool. He believes Moaco wants to see another treble. It'd be fantastic. And it's good to be speaking about winning such big trophies and, achieving fantastic achievements like trebles and winning Premier League. So, City got to apply themselves. So, we're going to have a look at the teams, but before I do, don't forget, do leave a thumbs up. That would be much appreciated. Aiming for 100 likes. We're now less than 70 likes, 69 likes away. Any help towards that would be much appreciated. Also, don't forget, get your thoughts in the comments below. We've also got the poll rolling. 81% of you guys thinking Man City winning today. 15% with Chelsea. 4% with a draw. Get your vote in whilst the poll is live. I'll be ending that upon kickoff. Also, don't forget as well to subscribe to my channel. It is free to subscribe. Also, don't forget, social media links in the description if you want to go and follow me on my X, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And do go and check out My Best 11 Pro. Free app to download. They've got the fantasy and they've got their prediction pools available that you can go and check out ahead of next weekend's Premier League games. Links and details, they are in the description. That would be much appreciated. And Raf, the domestic treble is still on. And this is an Iceland international shirt. Love Iceland, fantastic country. So Iceland international shirt is my choice of representation for today's game. And pretty comfortable shirt as well, if I'm being completely honest. Right, players have made their way out of the tunnel ahead of today's game. So an appropriate time for me to very quickly go through the teams. 4-2-3-1 formation for Chelsea. Sanchez starting in goal. Gusto at right back. Cucurella at left back. Fofana and Hato starting as their centre backs. In midfield, it's Caicedo and Santos. Alongside them is Cole Palmer playing behind striker João Pedro. They've gone with Estevao on the right-hand side and Pedro Neto on the left-hand side. Former City players on the bench that could cause Man City some problems, including former City defender Tosin Adarabioyo and also former City striker Liam Delap. Also on the bench, you've got Mahamadou Sarr, Asugo, Sharman Lowe, Achampong, Guehi, Lavia and Garnacho. I always forget that Romeo Lavia was a former Manchester City player as well and former Man United man Alejandro Garnacho that could cause some problems for Manchester City as well from the substitute bench. And of course, the big name there, Cole Palmer. Got to try and keep him quiet in terms of his creativity. Good on his set pieces, in particular from the penalty spot, so we don't want to be conceding penalties. Cole Palmer, going to try and keep him quiet and see if we can have a good pop at that defence. Big blow for Chelsea, missing Reece James through injury still, and also continuing their punishment of Enzo Fernandez, the player that scored the late equaliser for Chelsea back at the Etihad Stadium back in January. Now, Man City lining up with, I presume it's going to be a 4-1-3-2 formation. It's Donnarumma. I was expecting Donnarumma to start. James Trafford's done everything he can to become number one goalkeeper at Manchester City. And if I'm Pep Guardiola, I'd have told Gianluigi Donnarumma it's been clean sheets in the Carabao Cup final for James Trafford. It's been a clean sheet against Liverpool and saved a penalty from Mohamed Salah last weekend. Donnarumma, you keep a clean sheet here at Stamford Bridge or you do not start next weekend against Arsenal. That's the desperate situation. Every goal counts, not just about scoring goals, but conceding as well. Can't afford silly mistakes with distribution. Can't afford silly mistakes in terms of shot stopping. Can't afford silly mistakes in terms of commanding his area, coming out, collecting the ball, and in particular, dealing with dangerous set pieces. At the back for Man City today, no changes. Matheus Nunes on the right, Nico O'Reilly on the left, and Abdukodir Khusanov and Marc Guehi starting as Manchester City's centre-backs. Into midfield, it's Rodri as Man City's holding midfielder for today's game. Bernardo Silva, captain for Manchester City, starting. Remember, he picks up a yellow card today for Man City. He'll be suspended for 2 games because it'll be his 10th yellow card of the Premier League season. It means that Bernardo Silva, with a yellow card today, will miss Man City's game against Arsenal next weekend. He's got to keep it clean today. Bit of a risk starting, but we've got to win this game, and I presume that Pep Guardiola would regard Bernardo Silva as one of Man City's strongest players. And then alongside Bernardo Silva, you're going to have Doku on one side, Rayan Cherki on the other. I presume it'll be Cherki on the right, Doku on the left, and I imagine Semenyo is going to be given a bit more freedom in attack, partnering Erling Haaland. On the bench for Manchester City today, James Trafford, Tijjani Reijnders, Nathan Ake, Omar Marmoush, Mateo Kovacic, former Chelsea man, Nico Gonzalez, Rayan Ait-Nouri, Semenyo, and Phil Foden. Phil Foden still trying to compete to get to the World Cup with England, needs regular minutes and regular starts, can't force his way into the Manchester City team as of yet. So we have had kickoff for today's game. Manchester City playing in their third kit. It's the rain kit, the grey rain kit with the fluorescent colours. City attacking from left to right, with Chelsea playing in their home shirts, which is the navy blue shirts, navy blue shorts, and white socks. Chelsea attacking from right to left. We're more than a minute into the game. Not much has happened in this match as of yet. My score prediction today, still going 2-0. Manchester City. Welcome, Juliet. Thank you for tuning in. Much appreciated. Dan Van, welcome. Thank you for tuning in as well. It is the raindrop kit today. Jean, apart from Villa away, I think it's not served Man City too badly, in my opinion. Oasis Citrus Punch. Choice of drink for today. Chuck, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Good hold-up play there from Erling Haaland. Backwards to goal, but it's ensured that Man City can clear the lines and keep possession as well. Newcastle are struggling. Dan Van, you're right. Dropping more points today. Struggled a little bit. As I said, guys, remember watching on Now TV, so I'd appreciate nobody spoiling it for me. A few of you guys might be ahead of me in real time, so I'd appreciate nobody spoiling it for me. Anyone that is, I'd appreciate the moderators just kicking people out as Cucurella goes one-on-one with Semenyo. Cucurella makes a sliding interception, and it is going to be the first corner of today's game in the bright, sunshine of London. West London, to be more specific, at Stamford Bridge. Semenyo's come over to take the corner on Manchester City's right-hand side. City have got a chance here to get some bodies into the box. Seem to have been working on some kind of set-piece routine because City's defenders just kind of floating and flirting around the edge of the penalty area rather than inside the 6-yard box. They are starting to go more into the area now as Bernardo Silva has come over to take the corner ahead of Semenyo. Taken short here then by Manchester City. Here is Bernardo Silva receiving a pass once more from Matheus Nunes. They combine once more. Bernardo under pressure from Cole Palmer. A chance here for Nunes to put the ball into the box. He goes deep. Hook back across, and good bit of defending there from Chelsea, who can't fully clear their lines. No offside in there from the ricochet from Man City. They want to throw in. Neto is deemed to have kept it in, and Gusto can get this one clear for Chelsea. Man City will mop that up through Abdukodir Khusanov. He's had a fantastic season once more with Manchester City. And it's about time he started getting the praise that he deserves. He's been a fantastic defender for Man City since he arrived from France for the Uzbek international. Here is Rayan Cherki then, works the ball central to Matheus Nunes. He's going to work it to the left-hand side here for Marc Guehi, with Man City having everybody camped inside the Chelsea half, as Jeremy Doku being tag-teamed at the moment. Got Gusto for company and Santos as well. Ball gets put to the right-hand side. Rayan Cherki chooses to just play a volleyed pass to Matheus Nunes. Here is Cherki now. Plays a good pass into the channel for Rodri, who looks to try and just dink a ball towards the back post. It's too close for the goalkeeper, who will send this one long. He's put too much on it, looking for the runner. João Pedro and Gianluigi Donnarumma will collect the ball and will roll the ball out for Manchester City, and City will look to just get Chelsea back onto the back foot here. Here is Rayan Cherki playing in a more central position, gives the ball to Bernardo Silva, playing almost like a deep-lying playmaker. Think Andre Pirlo and how he used to play, sitting in them very deep positions, receiving the ball and ready at any one point to try and switch up the players. City work it here to the right-hand side. It's Semenyo up against Marc Cucurella, the Spanish international. Semenyo centralises himself here. Potentially had the opportunity to shoot there. He's tackled. Chelsea will get the ball clear. Manchester City, not the best of touches from Rodri, can come forward here, and it could be Chelsea's first opportunity of the game 5 minutes in here. Here's Pedro Neto, works it to Cole Palmer just inside the penalty area. He's got half a yard on Rodri, has a shot, and it's into the side net in there from the former Manchester City midfielder, and it remains 0-0 at Stamford Bridge between Chelsea and Manchester City. Kamran, thanks for tuning in. Hoping City can destroy Chelsea. It's been a good, bright, positive start, really, from both sides. Chelsea obviously sitting a bit more defensive, happy to spring players forward, though, on the counter-attack. And, Manchester City are happy to commit bodies forward and try and create their own opportunities as well. Chelsea just managing to find the first effort of the game. Manchester City have already had their own corner as Rayan Cherki plays a pass forward, looking for Antoine Semenyo. It will be cut off, though, by Hato, the centre-back for Chelsea. Caicedo, I heard some rumours that he might have been injured for Chelsea heading into this game, but not to be. Enzo Fernandez just sat chilling on the bench in his white jumper and sunglasses on. Of course, been punished by manager Liam Rosenior for Chelsea. Here's Hatter then, mercs the ball forward, and Khusanov just clatters into Cucurella and floors him, and Chelsea will get themselves a free kick just inside the Manchester City half, and maybe an opportunity for Chelsea to put a ball into the box. It looks like they're more interested here in just passing this. Yeah, they'll move this one backwards. Caicedo playing in a very deep role for Chelsea today, and it's not the best of passes out from the back, and possession just cheaply given away there by Chelsea, and City are going to look to just try and get Chelsea back onto the back foot. Gianfranco Zola in the stadium, former Chelsea striker. Here's Antoine Semenyo, tackled by Cucurella, and should be a throw-in for Man City, no? He's giving a throw-in for Chelsea there. Cucurella will take, and he'll just throw it backwards. Here's Hatter then, gives it to Caicedo. Caicedo almost playing as the last centre-back for Chelsea, very deep. As not the best of balls forward there from Chelsea, and that will be a throw-in for Man City. Midway inside their own half, which Matheus Nunes is going to take on the City right-hand side. Here is Abdukodir Khusanov then to Rodri. Good pass into the channel for Erling Haaland. He's clipped at the back. He wants a free kick. Referee says no free kick. And Chelsea get possession back there. Here is Neto up against Matheus Nunes. Not the best of passes. And Bernardo Silva will get that one under control. And Rodri's going to give this one away, and João Pedro could be in here, and there's a good recovery there from Abdukodir Khusanov, and he can just slide in and get an important touch onto the ball, and will send it out for a corner to Chelsea rather than an effort on goal. So this is where City needs to be careful on these set pieces. Got to be careful. So guys, don't forget, leave a thumbs up now, just 16 likes away from 50. Any help towards that would be much appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe, and you can go check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by My Best 11 Pro. Links and details, they are in the description. So, corner then taken for Chelsea. It's not a very good corner. It's flat and low. Jeremy Doku gets a touch on it from Pedro Neto's corner. He does get the ball back. Again, a heavier touch there from Neto. Ford's lucky though, because Gusto can mop up, and another opportunity here for Chelsea, maybe to put the ball into the box. They've floated it instead to the left-hand side, which Cole Palmer's got. Cole Palmer, he's got an opportunity to put the ball into the box. Chelsea have kept players forward here, so they do have some targets in there, a good bit of height. Pedro Neto, again, just not putting the ball into the box, working it very central here. Here's Hato, works it to Gusto. He's got Cucurella for support. Again, the ball doesn't come into the box. Eventually, it's just dinked in. Abdukodir Khusanov puts his foot onto it. Falls to Cole Palmer on the edge of the penalty area. Palmer, looking for a bit of space, has a shot blocked by Marc Guehi and falls into the hands of Gianluigi Donnarumma. Chelsea just a bit reluctant to put them balls into the box. They kept defenders forward there, and they didn't really need to, as Donnarumma, nearly under pressure there, fails to control the ball. João Pedro couldn't quite get onto the end of it. City could find the pass. Bit rushed from City. It does mean that they've given the ball away. It's Cole Palmer. Lovely drop of the shoulder there from Cole Palmer. And he's deemed to have had his shirt grabbed there by Rodri. And that will be a free kick. Cole Palmer looking full of energy. Asking for a yellow card there for Rodri. Referee says, no yellow card. You've got a free kick. Get on with it. Definitely a pull of the shirt there from Rodri. Just been turned from Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer, good drop of the shoulder, trying to showcase his quality. How far out is this free kick is the question, as we're into the 11th minute at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 0, Manchester City 0. A bit far out for an effort. You struggled with a shot there to beat Donnarumma. Man City haven't even put a wall in place. Donnarumma maybe just giving some instructions for Rayan Cherki, but doesn't look like he's interested in putting a wall in there. Instead, it looks like it's going to be a possible floated ball to the right-hand side for Chelsea, and it is going to be put in. Not the best of balls, and straight out of play for a goal kick. And Manchester City can survive that set piece. Second set piece survival. A couple of times Chelsea have had an opportunity to put a ball into the box. They've put the ball into the box that time, and it wasn't very good. Maybe that's why they were reluctant to put the ball in before. And the opportunity for Chelsea just disappears. Here is Abdukodir Khusanov under pressure, gives the ball away. He's got to try and recover here under pressure. João Pedro, one-on-one with Abdukodir Khusanov. Forces him just to turn. He's not getting an overlap, so he's going to have to centralise this one. And does. He's worked it backwards. A heavier touch. A couple of heavy touches. City doing quite a few heavy touches. Chelsea doing quite a few heavy touches. Don't really know why. Normally I'd accuse the pitch of being overwatered. Or if you're Gyökeres for Arsenal, accusing it of being underwatered. Cole Palmer finds his pass and offside flags up and boots the ball away there, Esteban. And Esteban, he's going to go into the book. Yellow card. Kicking the ball away. So it's going to be a yellow card. Fourth yellow card of the season for the Brazilian, is he Brazilian international? Brazilian youngster, Estevão. Needs a bit of maturity there. He doesn't need to kick the ball away. It's 0-0 against Manchester City in the 13th minute. You don't need to be frustrated that you've strayed into an offside position and booted the ball away. It's a very silly yellow card. And if there's one thing Chelsea can't really afford in this game is to, go down to 10 men. So you can't afford, you got to keep your discipline. You've got to have your disciplines. A good bit of combination play there from Rayan Cherki and Antoine Semenyo. Cut off well by Chelsea. So City had the throw in, which they've just worked backwards, and City just a bit content just to maybe push players further forward. Bernardo Silva under pressure from Cole Palmer. Guehi finds his pass to Nico O'Reilly. Not really seen much of O'Reilly so far. He's got his first burst of energy forward here. Plays his pass to Jeremy Doku. Doku does well to keep that one in up against Gusto. Doku's still going. Here's Rodri into the penalty area. He's going to have to turn it backwards though. Chelsea again just all over it, having 2 or 3 players around any City player at one time. They've clearly been working on their defensive positions. City going to have to be at their creative best. Here's Rayan Cherki. You fancy if there is going to be a bit of creativity from City, it's going to come through Rayan Cherki. He's had a very good last few weeks for Manchester City. Been all over the place with doing his flicks and tricks. And it's been a real breath of fresh air for City. Here's Doku then, up against Estevão and Gusto. Drives inside. puts the ball in, deflected through to Bernardo. Haaland's lost flight of the ball. Rodri's managed to mop it up for Man City, and City will just go back to the keeper here to ensure that they can keep hold of possession. Here is Donnarumma. Gives the ball to Marc Guehi. He's got O'Reilly as his option into midfield. Chelsea trying to be very physical and aggressive. That City have just got to try and persevere with this. Here's Matheus Nunes. Gives the ball to Abdukodir Khusanov. Here's Rayan Cherki now. To Rodri. Cherki. He's got options to his left. City will go to the right, and that's one of the worst passes of the season that I've seen from Matheus Nunes. Looking for a pass to Rodri. It's nowhere near him, and possession just very cheaply given away there by Manchester City. Very cheaply given away. And speaking of possession being cheaply given away, Chelsea do the same. And here's Doku then driving forward. Not got anywhere to go. He wants a free kick. Referee's not interested. And out for a goal kick. And that's the first 15 minutes sorted. 0-0. Doku not happy with that. Here's Heto then to Sanchez. Back to Heto. City just trying to probe. Finds a good pass to the left for Cucurella. He'll look to try and play a direct ball forward. It's a good ball, perfectly weighted to Pedro Neto. And now Chelsea have managed to turn defence into attack. So a good run here from João Pedro. And Cucurella in a bit of space. Has a shot. And there's the goal. It's 1-0 Chelsea. Well, I think the flag's gone up for offside. It has. That goal's not going to count. A good finish from the Spanish international. Let's have a look at it again. VAR will have a look at it. He's always looked ahead of play. It's going to be tight, this one. A really tight call. Good finish from Cucurella. Offside flag. Very quick to go up. So we'll have to wait and see. Donnarumma just kind of shows Cucurella to go across goal rather than go near post. Good finish. They'll, I'm sure, want to have a look at it. I think they've confirmed the decision as offside. There's the automative technology coming into use there with the pace. Wait to see how close that was as Bernardo Silva. Lovely collection from Nico O'Reilly's touch. And here's Doku then into the penalty area. So good tackle. Bernardo Silva mopping up again. Being a nuisance. Here's O'Reilly then to Rodri. Bit of a warning sign that for Man City and conceding. Here's Doku, plays the pass in. O'Reilly looks to try and square one across, and City will get themselves a corner. Rayan Cherki and Doku have gone over to potentially combine to take this corner. City have got Rodri in there. Khusanov's in there. Semenyo's making his presence known, being marked by Pedro Neto. Taken short. Combination of Cherki and Doku. Bernardo Silva's going to be the man that puts the ball into the box. It's blocked. Can he find a bit of space? Finds Rodri in a bit of space, but he's got to go backwards. City keeping bodies in there. Crossfield pass comes into Jeremy Doku then. Got a little bit of space for Rayan Cherki to work with. Got the support of Guehi, Rodri and Nunes to his outside. Goes forward looking for O'Reilly in the inside. And Chelsea continue to come away with the ball. Referee momentarily being knocked down. Good crossfield pass coming in. Neto should keep this one in. Good, again, weight onto the ball there from Chelsea. Pedro Neto, good show of strength. Shot comes in and a good save from Donnarumma. A really good save. City wanted a free kick there. It doesn't come in and Donnarumma gets down really well. A really good low effort from Chelsea and a good low save from Gianluigi Donnarumma. Almost like slow motion, that. Not only does Donnarumma make the save, Positions his body really well. Gets a good, strong left hand onto it to palm it. Not back into the channel, into the danger zone, but out for a corner instead, and City can get bodies back. Chelsea then, getting up ahead of steam. Goal disallowed. Forced a good save from Donnarumma. Manchester City just got to try and bear with us. It's a disappointing effort there from Chelsea. Offside in the build-up. So here we go then. Having a look at how close this offside was. It's near enough his whole body in front of Abdukodir Khusanov there on that on the technology. I think it's one of them that I think at the upcoming World Cup, they're trying Arsene Wenger's thing of, there's got to be clear daylight between the players. So that decision at the World Cup, I think, would have been given. Warning sign for Man City though. Keith, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you very much for your kind comment there. It's not been the best of starts for Manchester City. Sneaker not happy with the performance so far. Kushik, thanks for tuning in as well. Here's City then bursting forwards. It's not been the most fluent of 20 minutes. We've said that a few times in the last few games, haven't we? Where City first 20 minutes, not really with it, but you keep your clean sheet intact and City grow into games. A bit of a slow start. Here's Doku. Finds Guehi. Crosses coming in. Headed clear. Neto can get this under control. And Cucurella will put this one forward. João Pedro wins his header and should be a free kick on Matheus Nunes there. Chelsea pressing Manchester City. As I said, Chelsea being very physical with City at the minute. Very physical. Chelsea just keen on trying to keep this close. And keep themselves in it. Trying to make things tight. Difficult for City to create opportunities. Crossfield pass. Good crossfield pass into Jeremy Doku from Matheus Nunes. On the left-hand side. Again, two around him. Doku into the penalty area. Good work from Doku. Has his shot. It's blocked. Fall to Bernardo Silva. It's blocked. Rodri edge of the penalty area to Cherki. Can't sort his feet out. And it's aggressive pushing the back there from Abdukodir Khusanov. And that will be a free kick for Chelsea. Cole Palmer looks to take it quickly and take it to burst forward. Rodri's in the way. He's not 10 yards. The referee's going to have to blow and bring the free kick back. And Chelsea, I imagine, probably just take their time there. Looking to get away with that one there, Chelsea. It's the downside you have to trying to take free kicks dead quickly. Sometimes, if you don't get it right, you give possession away and your players aren't ready to deal with it. In the end, though, Rodri's not 10 yards, so Chelsea can have the free kick back. Chelsea being put under pressure. Finding the pass. O'Reilly, can he get his foot onto it? He can. Good tackle. Here's Doku. He comes forward, protects the ball well. Haaland can't sort his feet out. And Cucurella up against Rodri. Two Spanish teammates there going toe-for-toe. And Rodri wins the battle. His pass isn't the best. And it forces Man City just to go back an extra 5 yards or so. Matheus Nunes says, cut losses. And I'll send it back to Donnarumma. And we'll choose to regroup again from the goalkeeper. Here is Rodri then. Centre of the park for City. Gives the ball to Khusanov. Works back from Marc Guehi. He's going to stretch the pitch. He's got Guehi on the left. Nunes on the right. Nunes receives the ball on the right. He's going to send the ball into the channel. Looking for Haaland. Does well there, Erling Haaland. Does really well. Here's Bernardo Silva. Chips a ball to the right-hand side. Looking for Semenyo. Not the best of headers. And Cherki can come away with it. Plays his pass looking for Semenyo. There's nobody in the middle of the park other than Cole Palmer. And he'll collect for Chelsea. And they can have possession. Getting a bit scrappy, this game at the minute. A bit scrappy. I'd probably say first 23 minutes, Chelsea probably looked the team more likely than Manchester City. But as we've seen from City, 2 second-half goals against Arsenal. Thought City looked sharper and better against Liverpool second half than we did first half. We ended the first half very well. But we're back in Premier League action, dropping points against West Ham away from home in March was disappointing. Dropping points against Nottingham Forest at home in March was disappointing. Results that, they don't win your Premier Leagues. So you've got to try and rectify it in difficult games, away games against the likes of Chelsea, who are trying to compete for a Champions League spot. Here's Rodri then, finds Matheus Nunes. So it's not been the best of 24 minutes here from City. It's been a very scrappy, very physical game. The important matter is, though, Chelsea might have created one or two very good opportunities and had a goal disallowed. It's also 0-0. We've not conceded. So all we need to do is focus to see if we can find that goal. Because, Arsenal lost yesterday. We've got to win this game. We've got to punish that result. And a perfect way then to go into the game against Arsenal next weekend. But we can't afford to be thinking about that. We've got a job to do here over the next hour and a half or so. Here is Semenyo. Not the best of passes into Cherki. And Chelsea doing a very good job at just pretty much double teaming Man City. There's just no space to work with. You drop a shoulder, you get past one, and you're met with the other. There's no space for Man City to work with at the minute. I think to myself, is it not worth just maybe, lining up the likes of Rodri and Matheus Nunes 30 yards out and start trying some long-range efforts just to see if you can force some shots on target and bringing things like deflections and rebounds and stuff. Poor ball from Cherki. Very Rayan Cherki-like and out for a goal kick. Way too deep. Well beyond anybody. And remains 0-0. Ricardo, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Everything running through Jeremy Doku at the moment, isn't it, as well? Tito. Jean, we don't want a draw. Can't afford it. We have been second half merchants. We've been much better in the second half in sussing things out as Estevao just strays offside. He's looking very frustrated. Already on a yellow card, Estevao. Andrew, former Chelsea and Manchester City man Frank Lampard, is in the stands, I think, in his box. Doing very well with Coventry City at the moment, despite them dropping points yesterday against bottom of the league, Sheffield Wednesday. Coventry City still looking very good for getting into the Premier League for next season. So we will see more of former England international Frank Lampard. Dave's good point. Says Chelsea haven't beaten City in the last 6 meetings, but 3 have been draws. You can still scrap and scrape for that, 1-0. Chelsea's game plan is just going to be to stick and stay with Man City and stay in the game. It's what they did at the Etihad. City managed to find the opening goal, couldn't build on it. They kept the game plan in the hope that at some point you can put City under pressure and find that opportunity, put it away, and you come away with points. Worked treat at the Etihad, and they'll be looking to do the same here. City have got to score first if they want to win this game for me. Here's Doku. Lovely run from Doku. Goes into the penalty area, and again, Chelsea they have the bodies back. That should be a free kick against O'Reilly as a pull, and it is. Free kick for Chelsea. Ooh, City just look a bit rough and tough at the minute. There's been a few times this season where teams have gone real physical and City have just struggled with it. Going back to that, physicality in midfield. Some teams are going to be physical and you've got to deal with that physicality. There'll be other teams that we've still got to play this season, likes of Brentford, the likes of Everton, Crystal Palace, Burnley even. They'll be watching this and they'll be thinking to themselves, be physical with City. They don't like it. You can get the bodies forward, you can cause the problems. Bernardo Silva, not the best of back passes, and Donnarumma says, can have a throw-in, not a corner. Going to be taken short. I respect that. Happy that they're not taking up the Arsenal, and Liverpool had copied Arsenal in there. We're going to take up anti-football and long throw it, because we've not got a way of breaking teams open. We'll look to try and create using your feet. It's football after all, rather than just launching a throw-in. Here's João Pedro for Chelsea then. Inside the Man City half, on the right-hand side, Estevao. Back to João Pedro, so too much of that to Bernardo Silva, but Chelsea do well just to keep hold of the football. Floated ball comes in. Matheus Nunes wins the header. Rayan Cherki looking to put Teto under pressure. Is Caicedo then finds a pass into Cole Palmer. Good defending from Abdukodir Khusanov. Rodri can't find his pass, looks frustrated. Gusto, chance for him to put a ball into the box, and Pedro just got in front of Guehi there, but can't get a touch on it, and gives the thumbs up and says he knows it's an opportunity. It was a wicked ball in from Gusto, and João Pedro there does all the hard work, just couldn't quite get on the end of it, and Stamford Bridge, 29 minutes in, remains 0-0. So don't forget, guys, leave a thumbs up. We're aiming for 100 likes. Now, just 10 likes away from 50. Any help towards that would be much appreciated. Do subscribe as well if you're new around here. And do go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by My Best 11 Pro. Links and details, they're in the description. Jeremy Doku wants a free kick. Referee says no free kick. Jeremy Doku will argue his case to the referee. Having his shirt pulled. Referee just deemed it 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. And ends up just stepping onto Gusto and a free kick given against Jeremy. Ball comes forward then looking for Pedro Neto. Up against Matheus Nunes. Good work that from Matheus Nunes. Real good work from Matheus Nunes. Neto does well and Rodri just mops that one up. It will be a corner for Chelsea. Good defending there from Nunes. Really good work from Pedro Neto as well. Nunes does well. Just to force Neto out wide. Good skills from Neto and good mopping up from Rodri. Good attacking and good defending. Cucurella nod one up. Gets a fist on it, Donnarumma does, and whacked clear. Donnarumma again has got to come and get a fist onto it. He does. It's not the best of fists. A bit unconvincing. Here's Neto up against Rodri, and that runs out for what I think is going to be a goal kick. He's offside. There we go. Chelsea wanted a corner. Man City wanted a goal kick. Linesman gives an offside. Seamus, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. City are always going to go with a high line. So Chelsea's attack, and you know they are going to enjoy it. So it's all about City. Can they find the opening goal? They've got to find the goal. Is Donnarumma claiming what he was fouled or something, arguing his case to the referee? Don't feel like there was anything in that on Donnarumma then. I don't really know what he was complaining about. Here's Jeremy Doku. Looks to try and thread his pass through to Erling Haaland. Semenyo wanted it. Weren't the best of passes from Doku. And again, just City just giving the ball away needlessly. And Chelsea just looking to try and again expose the gaps at the back from Manchester City. Neto, very important. Him and João Pedro causing the problems for City. Rosenior likes what he's seen. It's not been a convincing first 31 minutes this from Man City. And City have got a heck of a lot of work to do here. Arsenal will be watching this. They'll be very encouraged by what they've seen so far. Here is Guehi then to Bernardo Silva. Gives the ball to Nico O'Reilly. Here's Rodri. Gives the ball to Bernardo Silva. Guehi to Cherki. Here's Khusanov then to Matheus Nunes. To Khusanov. Here's Guehi. Works the ball to Doku on the left. Up against Gusto once more. Estevao comes in. Trying to do the double team on Doku. City once more. Not really found too many ways to involve Erling Haaland other than long balls in that Haaland needs to hold up and almost be Man City's target man. Not really found many ways of getting Semenyo involved in the game either. He gives the ball to Nunes. Here's Kadir Khusanov now to O'Reilly. Every time City receive the ball, the back's always to goal. Got to be a little bit more direct for me. O'Reilly up against Palmer. O'Reilly does well. Chelsea will get the ball clear though. City haven't managed to mop this one up, and João Pedro and Donnarumma in a foot race, which Donnarumma is like slow motion, just about manages to win. And I think Man City have got themselves a free kick, which Nunes is going to take quickly. Yeah, it's like slow motion. Donnarumma just kind of stopped and didn't really want to come out and collect the ball and sweep. He does so in the end, and it was that hesitation that caused the initial problem. Here's Jeremy Doku then to Marc Guehi, back to Doku. Into the penalty area. O'Reilly works one across to Bernardo. It's a good save, and Good goalkeeping there from Sanchez. Not had too much to do in the first 34 minutes. He's there when he needs him to be. Good work there from Nico O'Reilly to pull it back across. And Bernardo Silva, does he get a touch on this or would it have been an own goal? No, it'd have been a Bernardo Silva effort. It's a good save from Sanchez. And, not just a save, it's the gathering up of the ball off the initial save as well, because Haaland was lurking there. So a good bit of goalkeeping from Robert Sanchez for Chelsea. Here is O'Reilly then. City once more now have got everybody inside the Chelsea half. Matheus Nunes gives the ball to Nico O'Reilly. Bernardo Silva now has decided to push a little further forward, which means O'Reilly's dropping a bit deeper to support Rodri in that holding midfield role. Here is Jeremy Doku up against Gusto and Estevao. O'Reilly gives the ball to Abdukodir Khusanov. Matheus Nunes. Got Rayan Cherki on the right. A little bit of support from Antoine Semenyo. Doesn't use him. Goes back to Matheus Nunes. Bernardo Silva's going to drop deep now and receive the ball and see if he can create something. He's got Doku as an option on his left. Got Guehi on his left. Nunes and Cherki on his right. Here's Nunes then. To Rayan Cherki. Semenyo stretching the pitch. Could be a good option here for City. Is used by Cherki. And Cherki just doesn't get his touch sorted there, and Pedro Neto's all over it. And here comes the Chelsea quick counter-attack that they're looking for. Estevao on the Chelsea right-hand side. Guehi, good defending from the former Crystal Palace captain, and gets a free kick for Manchester City, which I think referees just waved play on to play the advantage. Khusanov then back to Guehi. 36 minutes in, 0-0 here. Here's O'Reilly. It's a good tackle from Santos, it was. City have done well to get the ball back. And City will get themselves a free kick. Chelsea fans not happy with that. Seamus, I said that before. Long-range efforts. Like to Rodri and Nunes, I'd be lining them up 25, 30 yards out from goal. If you're struggling to break down Chelsea and create the opportunities and the balls into the box aren't working, don't be scared to have some longer-range efforts. Test the goalkeeper. Here's Bernardo Silva, edge of the penalty area. To Doku, puts the ball into the box, cleared by Cole Palmer. There's so many bodies there. You bring in your deflected goals. You bring in rebounds and stuff. It'll cause problems, honestly. I just get them lined up on the edge of the penalty area. Pull it back across and lever the ball. City have got some fantastic strikers of the ball. Rodri knows how to put up a clean quality effort in. Matheus Nunes knows where the back of the net is and how to score good goals. Even Semenyo. Kadir Husanov's threatened a long ranger every now and then. There are all options. Be a bit more direct. Semenyo can't find his pass. And the last one you want to give your ball away to when you're trying to thread a pass through is Pedro Neto. And Semenyo recognises the danger and just, with Neto's back to goal, trips him up. Referee still sees it as a cynical foul and will put Semenyo in the book for it. Not really found any way of getting Semenyo involved in this game. Not entirely sure this is the right game for Semenyo. I feel like there's certain kinds of games that suit Semenyo. Teams that are going to, restrict space. I'm just not entirely sure that will get the best out of him. I think as we're approaching half-time, if you was to look towards the substitute bench and you wanted to make changes, that's probably where I'd be looking towards. Pep Guardiola not happy with something there. It looked like you're looking towards Semenyo. Through ball had come in, cut off really well by Matheus Nunes, rather than getting the applause that he deserved there, Matheus Nunes. Pep Guardiola voicing his concerns towards somebody else. It was in Semenyo's direction. I don't know if it's at Semenyo, but it was in his direction. Here's Caicedo then. Works the ball into space and Estevao is going to give the ball away here. He does. A heavier touch from Nico O'Reilly's all over this. Into the penalty area. Cherki with the shot and spilt at the first time by Sanchez. Collected up at the second. Opportunities. What I want to see. Shots and shots on goal. Nice direct play. O'Reilly drives. Finds Cherki just inside the penalty area. You know, doesn't take touches. Not looking for the creativity. He's just looking for, you know, balls coming in. I've got space. You know, I'm having a shot. A better effort on goal there from Rayan Cherki could have had Chelsea scrambling and City potentially scoring the opening goal of the game. Here's Cherki then. Gives the ball to Rodri. Bit of space here on the right-hand side for Antoine Semenyo. That's a free kick every day of the week. Every day of the week. Here's O'Reilly. Can't protect the ball. City are going to give the ball away. Remember what I said before, guys, about taking quick free kicks and not being prepared for it? That's what happened with Man City. Thankfully, real good defending from Erling Haaland, of all players. Tracking back and doing well. I wonder if Chelsea just started to tire, because Sky Sports have put a graphic up saying, shot timeline, Chelsea's first 4 shots were the first 4 shots in the game. Since then, 4 more shots have come in, and they've all been from Man City. So it's been, you know, Chelsea have been dominating first 25 minutes or so, and in the last 10, 15 minutes, City have grown into the game and testing Chelsea more. Chelsea just dropping a bit deeper, struggling to get Neto and João Pedro more involved in the game. Not seen too much of Cole Palmer in the last 10 minutes or so either. Man City doing a good job now of just forcing Chelsea onto the back foot. Question is, and it was so important last weekend against Liverpool, can you score at the right time? And scoring right before half-time for what's been a good effort from Chelsea would be a bit of a demoralising way to head in at half-time. You know, Chelsea deserve to not be behind. They were the better team for the first 25 minutes. As we're into the 41st minute here, Man City have got themselves a corner on the City left-hand side. Haaland's in the box, O'Reilly's in the box, Rodri's in the box, Guehi's in the box. Hopefully no faffing from this corner. It's just going to be put in. Rayan Cherki going to take. Can City get a good quality ball into that penalty area? Utilise their own set play. He's going to pass it. Here's Doku. Puts a cross in. Palmer gets the block. He's asking for handball, but he turns his back. No way is that handball on Cole Palmer. Here's Bernardo Silva. Only Doku really asking the question, not for me. Into the penalty area. Can't get his ball across, and Cucurella, good combination between him and Pedro Neto, means that Chelsea can get the ball here on the left-hand side. Rodri's going to commit a foul high up there, and Chelsea are going to get themselves a free kick. Caicedo it was that was brought down. It's been a bit of a weird first half, this one, guys, not going to lie. Not going to lie. John, welcome, thanks for tuning in. Do I think the Semenyo chant is a cracking chant? It's one of them that just sticks in your head, isn't it, Geffin? It's a fantastic chant. Here's Chelsea coming forward. Estevao up against Bernardo Silva. Twisting and turning. Gets a foot on it there. Bernardo Silva does well. Chance here for Chelsea maybe to get a ball into the box. They do. Donnarumma's going to come. It's good goalkeeping that from Gianluigi Donnarumma. Real good goalkeeping. Thinks about just sending this one long. Referee gets his countdown of 6 going on, and he'll just roll it out instead. Here's Rodri then. Finds O'Reilly on the left. City into the Chelsea half. O'Reilly to Doku. Doku tries to thread his pass through, looking for O'Reilly. Good defending from Gusto. Just steps in and makes the interception out for a throw into City just inside the Chelsea half. Into the final couple of minutes of normal time. Not been too many stoppages in this game, so there's obviously one VAR check on the offside goal from Chelsea. Took about a minute. So in terms of other bits of wasting, in terms of the ball going out of play for corners and goal kicks, might be looking at, 2 minutes added on, I reckon. Might not even be that. Here's Matheus Nunes. Finds Antoine Semenyo. Back to Nunes. Here's Rodri. Goes back to Nunes. City probing Bernardo. Dinked ball looking for Erling Haaland. City not really got any way of getting Erling Haaland involved in this game at the minute. None at all, but you can't really not have Erling Haaland on the pitch. Haaland, he gets his foot onto it. Chelsea give the ball away under pressure. This is where City have got to capitalise. Bernardo gives the ball to Cherki. No support here on the right, so he's just got to centralise it. Again, no one really on the right, and not the best of balls in by Abdukodir Khusanov. Thankfully mopped up by City. Everything's all a bit rushed. I feel like we need to be calmer when on the ball. Here's Cherki, edge of the penalty area. No space again for him. Gives the ball to Nunes. Here's Semenyo. Drives forward. Might have a shot here, Semenyo. He does! Oh, it's not a bad effort. Dragged wide. Good effort from Semenyo, and he'll get City a corner as well. First real opportunity that Semenyo's had in this game, driving forward. Finds a little bit of space. Potentially might have been going in. Had that block not come in. I think Sanchez might have had that one covered. But still, it's an effort. And that's what we've got to be looking for. Got to be more direct, more decisive. Corner then. Bernardo to take. Yeah, it's just 1 minute that's been added on. And that was from that VAR check with that disallowed Chelsea goal. Corner comes in. And it's deep and misses everybody and out for a goal kick. Marc Guehi couldn't get his head onto it. And I imagine Chelsea will be keen on just taking the time and coasting this one to half-time. So I imagine team talks. I think Rosenior, manager for Chelsea, is probably going to be telling the Chelsea players, spend the 15 minutes at half-time just trying to get their energy back. Keep having a push. Go for the first 10, 15 minutes. Try and cause City problems. Be physical. Continue to do your man marking. Double teaming. And he'll be happy with what he's seen. Well worthy of their clean sheet. It's City that's not been at their absolute best in terms of creativity and making things happen as long ball comes forward from the goalkeeper. Khusanov's deemed to have fouled João Pedro. And that takes us into the first minute done and dusted. I wonder if the referee's going to allow Chelsea to put a ball into the box. You see, this frustrates me here. Chelsea have chosen that corner that City took. There were 40 seconds remaining in the game. It's taken Chelsea a minute to take their goal kick and get a free kick in a dangerous area here to put a ball in the box. Chelsea took their time. So they've burnt away that minute. So I don't see why they should get the advantage of this free kick. Ball gets put into the box. It's a decent free kick. They connect on the header and it thankfully goes over the top of the crossbar. Because I tell you right now, that goes into the back of City's net. I would have been absolutely furious. And I mean absolutely furious. How on earth you can allow Chelsea to take nearly a minute for their own set piece to then give them a free kick at the end of the half over the additional time for time that they've wasted themselves and then they get the opportunity. I wonder if Bernardo Silva's moaning to the referee about such a situation. Honestly, I would have been seething if that had gone in. Seething. Anyway, 0-0, half-time, bit of an uninspiring game. This is where things get real nervy in terms of Premier League title races. Arsenal lost yesterday. Man City shouldn't be looking at as a bit of a grace to allow us to, if we could pick up a draw here, you make an extra gain on Arsenal. It goes to 8 points. It's not enough. It is not enough. You've got to, if Arsenal are dropping points, you've got to be all over it. You have to be all over it. Coming in with a weak performance, being bullied at times, struggling to create and not really having the answer, and a bit of a lacklustre first half performance. Not quite for me. Not quite. Got to be doing a little better. No way of getting Cherki involved. No way of getting Haaland involved. Doku's been double teamed. No real options on the right-hand side. Semenyo finally get an opportunity for him to cut in and get the shot right at the end of the half. Other than that, I've not seen anything of Antoine Semenyo, a bit of a reluctance to shoot. City looking a bit pressed, a bit rushed, a bit ragged. Not been a clean, scintillating performance from Man City. And I think if I'm Pep Guardiola, because for me, I regard this as a must-win game ahead of the game against Arsenal next weekend. I'm looking towards the bench. Where's your game changers? Who's going to come in, take the game by the scruff of the neck, and grab assists and score goals? Can Semenyo do that? Can Phil Foden do that in the form that both them players have been in? Omar Marmoush, City seems to have a reluctance in using him. You've got more physicality if you want to go down that route in midfield, the likes of Nico G and Mateo Kovacic. I imagine Pep likes to use the likes of Ake and Reijnders, potentially could become options for Man City in the second half. Just going off how physical the game is, and I think Tijjani Reijnders has struggled a little bit this season in terms of the physicality of the league. It's such a physical battle. I want players to make their presence known. I don't think we've been overrun in midfield, and as suggested there by FSG. Thank you for tuning in. We haven't been bad. Pound for pound, matched and done what we've needed to be. It's been a bit easy for Chelsea to, make things happen and create stuff. Esteval's looked all right on the right-hand side. Pedro Neto's looked very lively and dangerous on the left-hand side. There's been opportunities for the likes of Cucurella and João Pedro to get into areas and get shots, and Cole Palmer looked pretty decent for the first half an hour or so. So there's clear dangers there that City have to be wary of. When balls have come into the box, most of the time City have managed to deal with it. Gianluigi Donnarumma, when relied upon, has pulled off the saves and collected the ball in the air and done the punches, and we've done what we've needed to do to keep a clean sheet in the first half. It's just about finding that little bit of creativity, that little bit of individual brilliance that we've been looking for, and that is where you'll be looking for your most creative players, your likes of your Rayan Cherkis, your Bernardo Silvas, your Jeremy Doku's to try and force and make something happen. Because at the minute, we've got a fantastic goal scorer in Erling Haaland, and we've not managed to provide anything for him to make happen. And everyone always criticises Erling Haaland for it, but he's had literally no service, no crosses into the box, no passes into the channels. When the passes have come in, they've been not very good passes. So it's just been a bit of a meh first half, to be honest. It's we've come to expect a little more from Manchester City. Andrew saying Marmoush or Foden could be a good option to come in at some point in the second half. So I always feel like O'Reilly, though, FSG's at his very best playing in midfield and getting forward, and I think that's helped Man City in terms of the physicality and having O'Reilly in there, because how often were we seeing Rodri being turned by Cole Palmer in the first 10-15 minutes? It's only, for me, once City had moved away from the back four and O'Reilly more into midfield, that we've coped a little bit better in terms of the physicality in midfield, and that's helped us to get more control through, from the 25-30 minute mark onwards. And I think that's just something that we could really do with trying to utilise. But for me, it's just been a game of very, very few opportunities. It's a game that Chelsea were better first 20-25 minutes, and City grew more into the game. Neither side have created anything too clear-cut. Obviously, the only thing that's been real clear-cut for Chelsea has been that disallowed goal. It's just been a very careful game. At the minute, if there weren't so much riding on it and a point was good enough, I'd say, it might just be a case you come out of Stamford Bridge with the 0-0. A point at Stamford Bridge is not the worst result in the season. And if it is to be a point today for Man City at Stamford Bridge, I'm not going to come back at the end of the season and say that Man City lost the Premier League if we end up losing it because we drew away to Chelsea 0-0 or 1-1, for example. I think that, for me, the fundamentals are we're being given opportunities by Arsenal. Arsenal are showing signs of cracking. Eventually, they'll get to grips. And when they get to grips with it is when you're going to see them start to string one or two good performances in, and that will then build them enough into picking up 3, 4, 5 wins in a row, which may well be enough for them to win the Premier League, which is why we've not got any margin for error. Whilst a draw at Stamford Bridge is not the worst result in the world, in terms of the context of the season, it's not good enough. So Arsenal lost yesterday. Surprise result against Bournemouth. We've been given a reprieve. We've been given a chance. Got to capitalise upon it. So for me, I'd like to see City be a bit more direct, a bit more physical, not be scared to have some opportunities and shots. And I would be looking at someone like Marmoush, who wouldn't be scared to drop deep, pick the ball up 35 yards out, take 1 or 2 touches, and then have a shot on goal, just to try and make things happen. With how low block Chelsea have been, with all the bodies behind the ball, deflections, rebounds, even goalkeeper seeing things late because there's so many bodies in front of him. That, for me, is a really useful thing for Man City to try and utilise in this game. And for me, I could even go as far to say these are the games that decide Premier League titles. Not so much you go to Stamford Bridge and win, but can you go to places like Stamford Bridge, not play particularly well, keep a clean sheet, and just show that one bit of individual brilliance to find the goal that you need to win the game. That's what we've got to do. And for me, this is why I was putting loads of emphasis at the bit in the build-up to this game about, do you go with Donnarumma, do you go with James Trafford? Because we could look and say the title might come down to goal difference. It might not. We don't know. It could be very useful for Man City to have, but at the end of the day, first and foremost, you've got to win your games. You've got to find ways when you're drawing to turn draws into wins, and that's what we've got to do. And I just think if there is to be a goal in this game, first goal just absolutely crucial in deciding what does happen. Loads of work for City to do in the next 45 minutes, and how we played and the results we've had against Arsenal in the Carabao Cup final and the result that we had against Liverpool last weekend in the FA Cup, they don't mean anything. It's all about this 38-game Premier League season, and at the minute, Premier League form not been too great. Dropped points at home against Forest last month, dropped points away from home against West Ham. Yeah, they're both battling to try and stay up in the Premier League, but you've got to find ways to turn these draws into wins, and it's something that we've not really done over the last month and a bit, and we've got to try and find ways here in the second half to, at the minute, we're on course for a point. We've got to try and turn that point into 3 points, because we've got to capitalise on Arsenal losing yesterday against AFC Bournemouth. So guys, do leave a thumbs up. We're now aiming for, we're aiming for 100 likes. We're 51 likes away. We're nearly halfway there. So any help towards that would be much appreciated. Also, don't forget as well to subscribe if you're new around here. That'd be much appreciated. Social media links, they're in the description if you want to come follow me on my X, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Get your halftime thoughts in the comments below. Zach, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Semenyo, he hasn't been at his best. If he's to come off, who would you bring on? As I said, get your thoughts in the comments. That would be, or in the live chat. That would be much appreciated. And finally, I would say a big thank you to today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by My Best 11 Pro. They've got fantasy football and predictions available for you guys to go and check out ahead of the next Premier League match day for next weekend. You can go check them out. Free out to download. Links and details there in the description and part of all of their pools. So you guys can be too. Just go and check them out. Links and details. They're in the description. I'll use the QR code on screen. That would be much appreciated, and a big shout out to My Best 11 Pro for sponsoring today's live stream. Remember, these live streams, they can't happen without the sponsors, so I would appreciate anybody checking out My Best 11 Pro. So, I do have some half-time entertainment lined up for you guys to enjoy. It is brought to you by my partner channel, Mix Sid. Go and check him out. Links and details, they are in the description. He recently made a cocktail called the Cheeky Vimto Cocktail. So, sit back, relax, enjoy, grab yourself a drink and a snack, ready for the second half, and I'll see you in around 7 minutes time for that second half will there be? How many corners? So, Event Predictor lets you forecast key moments in a single game.
Back again for another cocktail video, as this is number 2 in our Alchemist Cosmic Cocktail series, so welcome back. And if you are new around here guys, don't forget to like and subscribe to Mix It for more cocktails like this, as I will take you on my cocktail journey, taking you through my favourite series, Alchemist. So if you've never been, they're absolutely brilliant. You'll see them all around the UK, and it's a fantastic cocktail brand. So today's cocktail, it is the Cheeky Vimto. So a very popular Cheeky Vimto, but a little bit of a twist. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do it like it is in the recipe book, but I'm going to change the measurements a little bit. So it's going to be a little bit different to what you see in the cocktail book. I also like to use the more American standard rather than the UK. So with this, it's a bit like a porn-style martini, so Cheeky Vimto, but served with a shot of a Vimto jelly, which I've already made. So if you want me to show you how to make a Vimto jelly shot version, let me know in the comments below. Right, so with this cocktail, it is over the rocks. So we'll go put in our ice, and then we'll just add in each ingredient and build it up that way. It's really simple to make. So let's get straight into it. So get your ice. and let's make a one cheeky vimto. So the first ingredient is 30ml or 1 ounces of sloe gin. So next is 50ml or half an ounce of blood orange gin by Black Powder. I really recommend this gin brand, they are really good. Next, 50ml or half an ounce of lemon mix. Again, let me know in the comments below if you want me to show you how to make the lemon mix. Next, 30ml or 1 ounce of that vimto squash. Next, 60ml or 2 ounces of soda water. And the last bit, it calls for vanilla and cherry syrup. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate them. So you can, because I've not been able to get a brand, so I've got 2 different ones, so I didn't manage to find a cherry and vanilla syrup together. So what I'm going to do is just do 2.5ml of each. So 2.5ml or 0.1 ounce. So next, 2.5ml or 0.1 of an ounce of cherry syrup. So get your bar spoon, and the last thing to do now is just give it a light stir. And there we go, 1 cheeky vimto with 1 vimto jelly shot. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen, 1 cheeky vimto with 1 vimto jelly shot. The perfect start to the weekend, and I hope you enjoy it. This is a classic, the cheeky vimto. It's strong, it's powerful, it's flavoursome, but it's very cheeky. Cheers everyone, how does it taste? Let me tell you, that is something else. The cheeky vimto, you can tell it has a kick to it. It's more the gin that kicks out, so it's got that slow gin that kicks through after the blood orange gin. So that's the first tasting notes I'm getting, is it kicks through, especially with the slow gin in the back of my throat. But then with the vimto, and then it balances it out a little bit with the soda water, so it's not too bittery, so it cancels that out. And then you can taste the lemon mix with it, so to give it a little bit of a sweet and sour taste. But that is a really nice cocktail. It's not that, it's one of those. It's a sweet and sour cocktail. That is the perfect example of a sweet and sour cocktail. But let's mix it in with vimto jelly. Cheers. I can see why it has the side of the vimto jelly shot. It's that it's a really nice jelly. I really recommend it. That's a 10 out of 10. The cocktail itself, I'd say it's not my favourite, but it's good, it's strong. I recommend it for sweet and sour, but it's a solid 10.5 out of 10. But that, ladies and gentlemen, has been the cheeky vimto cocktail. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Mix It for more Alchemist cocktails like this, more cocktail videos like this, and I will see you guys for the next one. But for the next adventures, we're going to be a little bit more creative on this channel. So the one that I want to try, like looking through the book, is the Nespresso Martini and then the Trifle. That's the one that's really caught my attention. So we'll take your mixology again to the next level. We'll go do those two and we'll see how it turns out. But I've been mixed. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and I will see you guys on the next one. So I will see you guys next weekend for the Nespresso Martini. And a happy Easter as it's fast approaching. The perfect start to Easter. Cheers everyone, have a good one. That's going down far too quick for my liking.
And a big thank you to Mixid for providing today's halftime entertainment. Do go and check him out. Links and details there in the description. Erling Haaland just had a brilliant opportunity. So let me just sync up the clock for you guys. You see where we're up to. We have had kickoff for the second half. Apologies for missing the start of the half. I was just letting the halftime entertainment roll. That's right, yeah, there we go. Right, here's Antoine Semenyo then for Manchester City on the right-hand side. Works it to Rayan Cherki. He's going to have a shot straight across goal. A good effort there from Manchester City. Looking to try and find the opening goal. I mean, it's taking a deflection because City have been given the corner there. Maybe looking to be a bit more decisive, a bit more direct. Cherki flashes one across goal. City do want a corner and do get given their corner. Cherki then to take. Bit of wrestling going on in the penalty area. Not a very good corner. And not a very good clearance. Cole Palmer just gets his foot onto it and back out for another corner kick for Manchester City taken very quickly. Here is Doku, who's got Cherki in for support. Palmer sticks close to him. He's just shoulder barged out the way and out for a goal kick. He wants a penalty, but I don't think you're going to get a penalty for that one. Referee just says, hold up and let VAR have a look at it, but I don't think this is clear and obvious. Steps into the path of Jeremy Doku, shoulder in. Slightly leans into Jeremy Doku and forces him off balance. Not for me. Sanchez sends this one long then. Header won by O'Reilly. Rodri will mop this one up. Doku's having a very good start to this half. As we do hit past 50 likes now. Just 49 likes to go to 100. Any help towards that would be great. Do subscribe as well if you are new around here. That would be much appreciated. And do check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by My Best 11 Pro. Links and details there in the description. You can use the QR code on screen or you can use the link in the live chat. Here is Cherki. Looking for more combos here, City, between Cherki and Antoine Semenyo. Cherki looks for the near post and he gets City another corner here. Chelsea just been put onto the back foot. A quick start to the half by Manchester City looking to try and find the opening goal. What could Cherki do then from this corner? Don't beat the near post and Chelsea will get that one clear. Not the best of balls in that, to be fair. The set pieces haven't been amazing from City today, to be honest, either. Here is Rodri. Gives the ball to Marc Guehi. He works the ball out wide now to Rayan Cherki. Here's Semenyo. Does well there, Antoine Semenyo. Finds Cherki. Rodri back to Cherki. Got the support on the right here from Semenyo. He's going to put the cross in. O'Reilly! Come on! It's a beautiful ball in and it's Nico O'Reilly with another important goal for Manchester City. Ball put in, it's on the money. And there's O'Reilly with the header to give the all-important opening goal for Manchester City. Come on! Fantastic. Have a watch of this. Has to be Rayan Cherki putting the ball in. Perfectly onside. And just peels away from the defender. Absolutely brilliant from Nico O'Reilly. What a man. Boomf. Into the back of the net. Super from Nico O'Reilly. 1-0 Manchester City lead. How important could that be? How important could that be come the end of the season? Massive goal, the opening goal at Stamford Bridge, and City lead by 1-0. Come on. Whew. Right, we've got to build on it now. We never killed Chelsea off at the Etihad. Got to kill them off. Got to kill them off. Here's Semenyo. Not the best of passes from Semenyo, looking for Cherki. Has to be Cherki with the assist, doesn't it? O'Reilly's there. Boomf. In. Have it. 1-0. Okay, he finds Rodri, flicks it on. He'll go all the way through to Sanchez then. Just got to open Chelsea up a little bit. They'll stick to the game plan. They want to double team the Manchester City players. They want to keep things tight. They want to keep things close. At the minute, City 6 points behind Arsenal. Game in hand and Arsenal to play. Arsenal +6 on the goal difference. Still got to play Arsenal. So if we win by 1-0, for example, next weekend against Arsenal, it means that we'd make a couple more goal gain on that goal difference, and that +6 would become +4. So if you've got the opportunity to make gains, you've got to make them gains. For me, I'm looking at here, you've got 40-odd minutes left of the game. Got to build, try and kill off Chelsea. Here's Doku. Works the ball back to Marc Guehi. Here's Rodri. And City's explosive start to the half. That's a great ball from Khusanov, and Semenyo has his effort and it's wide. Looking for the next goal. That's a brilliant ball from Abdukodir Khusanov. Not sure if Semenyo was onside or not. His effort blocked and I think gone out for a corner. Pep can't believe it. What, the ball across to Haaland. That is a corner then. On the City left-hand side. Can they get a good ball into the box and ask the question? Ball comes in. Headed clear. Again, not the best of balls in. Easy enough for Chelsea to deal with. Marc Cucurella into the book for Chelsea. Here's Rodri. Not sure what he's into the book for. Descent, possibly. Here's Jeremy Doku. Cherki then on the left. Just goes back to Marc Guehi. There's going to be a direct run made here by Antoine Semenyo. Gets a touch on it. He's got Bernardo Silva for company. Work back here to Matheus Nunes. Here's Cherki. Everything's just rolling through Rayan Cherki now, isn't it? Here's Matheus Nunes. Back to Cherki. Nunes. Cherki works the ball to Rodri. Here's Abdukodir Khusanov now. To Marc Guehi. Doku. Up against Gusto. He's got Estevao as well for company. Here's Guehi. Oh, that's a good ball played into the channel here. Nunes hooks one across. Good defending. Haaland was there ready. Fofana needed to deal with that and does. It was a good ball in that from Matheus Nunes. Just hooked back into the danger zone. High looping ball. Had to be dealt with and was by Fofana on Erling Haaland. And that's out of play for another corner for Manchester City. Can City finally utilise these set pieces? Cherki's coming over to take, enjoying the chants, enjoying the cheering. Smile on his face. Cherki then takes it short to Doku. So much space for Cherki. Takes one touch, 2 touches, 3, 4. Threads the ball through. Guehi! Another assist for Rayan Cherki. City double their lead. It's Marc Guehi with the goal. It's huge. Come on. What an 11 minutes this has been by Manchester City. Absolutely brilliant. It's a great finish. It's a striker's finish from Marc Guehi. Come on. Cherki at his creative best, but he's got that little cheeky smile. He's enjoying himself. You know things are going to happen. 1 touch, 2, 3, 4th is the pass. Well onside Guehi, across the goal. Fantastic. It's a striker's finish from Marc Guehi. A striker's finish from the defender. Bump. Knows where the back of the net is. Cool as you like. Just what we needed. City double their lead. Keep going. We've got a game. Need the 3 points. We've got a game to kill off here. Chelsea have got to open up. Kill the game off. As Geffen says, get it killed off. Pep Linders and Kolo Touré all having a smile. I wonder if that's come fresh out of Pep Linders working on something there. Working with maybe set-piece coach James French and, make something happen. But, Chelsea now got to find something. They've got to push forward. They've got to get the bodies forward. Abdukodir Khusanov's going to mop that up for City from the through ball. Donnarumma is going to send this away from the City goal. Semenyo can't get the touch. Haaland can. Header won by Chelsea. Bernardo hooks it clear. Header won by Gusto. Only as far as O'Reilly. And there's a foot race here between Gusto and Doku. He's quick, Gusto, and gets there ahead of Doku. Sanchez then works it to the left-hand side. Yeah, Chelsea now started to get players forward. Got to try and get a turn of momentum here. Got to try and get back into it. It's going to be given away by Chelsea. And I'm telling you, if City can just find another opportunity and another goal, it'll kill Chelsea. The heads will go. And then, and only then, do you think about goal difference? In the meantime, 2-goal leads are very dangerous. Next goal, crucial. Great tackle from Bernardo Silva on Pedro Neto. Got to be careful, Bernardo, remember. Oh. That's a ball and a half. Here's Semenyo. He's just flattened out. That'll be a free kick. Rayan Cherki just dinked the ball. Did one keepy up and then just volleyed it forward to Semenyo. An incredible talent Rayan Cherki is. Wow. Wow. Andy Man, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. A big happy birthday to your father. 90 years old as well. Hope he has a fantastic day. Fantastic milestone as well. 90 years old. O'Reilly dinks a ball in, looking for Haaland, headed clear. Cucurella follows it up. Rodri going to get a little touch on it. Here's Doku. Brian, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Here's O'Reilly. Squared across. Doku around one. He can't squeeze it through. O'Reilly goes through his man and there will be a free kick for Chelsea. Satish as well. Thank you for tuning in. Man City then. 4-goal difference on Arsenal. Pedro Neto's played a good game. Dean, welcome as well. Thank you for tuning in. I think it's a frightening pace of what Jeremy Doku can do. It brings other players away. Doku's had a good game. Both Neto and Doku, both fantastic players. I think Jeremy Doku's had his best season in the City shirt this season, which is fantastic to see. I said it was always going to be a big season for Doku. He's turned up, he's caused problems. Wouldn't it be great if he could go out and get on the score sheet today and help us to get this game killed off? Here's Bernardo Silva now to Guehi. Rodri then to Guehi. Oh, heavier touch. O'Reilly's gone down. That's not good. Heavier touch there, and Matheus Nunes wants to come forward. O'Reilly, I think, wants this ball putting out. O'Reilly's injured. He wants the ball putting out. Has he overstretched on his hamstring, or what's he done? I'm hoping it's just a bit of cramp. It'd be a big blow for next weekend to lose Nico O'Reilly. I wonder if he's just overstretched. Might just be able to stretch it out, get some spray on and run it off, hopefully. Pep Guardiola wants to just go and have a bit of a team talk with the City players. He's feeling his hamstring. He's overstretched and I think pulled his hamstring. So it'll have gone tight. I'm hoping it's just a very, a very light pull and it can just be ran off. That's what I'm hoping for. Is that Yaya Toure in the stands? It is. Big Yaya's in there. Spotting his brother Colo on the bench for Man City. Defensive coach. Alright, he's back on his feet, which is positive news. Let's see what we're dealing with O'Reilly. I'm hoping he's not going to have to come off. I'm hoping that... let's see how it goes. It's not good news because O'Reilly's just gone straight down the tunnel. So he's going to have to come off. That's not good news at all. And Rayan Ait-Nouri is going to come on for Man City instead. It's not good news. Not good news at all. My 5-year-old daughter in Ohio. Oh no, just my 5-year-old in Ohio. Does a good impression of me. I'll have to hear that. Ohio in the room though. I like it. That's good. Good work from Doku. And here comes City. It's 4-on-4. It's 4-on-4. It's 5-on-4. Here's Ait-Nouri. Look at him go. Ait-Nouri. What can he do? He's got a corner, I think. Or is he giving the referee giving a free kick? He's giving a free kick against Ait-Nouri there. All right, Chelsea are also going to make their first change. It's going to be Alejandro Garnacho, former Manchester United man, coming on. City then got a big 25 minutes or so to see out. A big 25 minutes. Don't forget, guys, do leave a thumbs up. Just 45 likes away from 100. Any help towards that would be great. Do subscribe. And do go check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by My Best 11 Pro. Links and details there in the description. Dean, I've not heard Martin Branthwaite's name in a long time. Where's he at these days? Here's Ait-Nouri. Now, let's not forget, obviously, massive blow losing Nico O'Reilly. I'll come to that in a minute. Here's Cherki. Sanchez does well and gets down well to stop the ball coming across there for Erling Haaland. Let's not forget, Ait-Nouri, when we had the absence of Nico O'Reilly like a month and a half back, look very impressive for Man City. He's got a good corner on him as well. So it's a real good option, I think, for Man City as a shot comes in and a good block on Cole Palmer and a corner will be given to Chelsea. I mean, Cucurella looked miles offside there. Not given. City weren't happy about it. City need to defend this corner that's incoming. Good block there from Guehi on Cole Palmer. Yeah, so I've got every faith in Rayan Ait-Nouri. Corner comes in. Looping header. Donnarumma gets a big fist onto it and City will half mop it up. Nunes didn't choose to put his foot through it and get it clear. Here is Palmer. Twisting, turning, heavier touch, out for a goal kick. That'll do. Yeah, where's Branthwaite at these days? Romeo Lavia is going to be coming on as well, former City man. Martin Branthwaite left Barcelona, went to Espanyol, didn't do too bad at Espanyol, and then left and has joined Grêmio over in Brazil, I think. Grêmio, yeah, Brazilian football team. Grêmio. There we go. That's a good through ball there. Here's Semenyo. Semenyo with a shot and a good save from Sanchez. Haaland again, unhappy. What is the ball playing across there? This is going to be given away. Here's Doku. Here's Doku! And there's the third for Manchester City. It's Jeremy Doku. He deserves that. He's had a real good game for City, I think, Jeremy Doku. And this second half performance has been tremendous from Man City. They smell blood on Chelsea and they're smelling blood on Arsenal as well. Arsenal lose yesterday against Bournemouth at home 2-1 and Manchester City now ready to capitalise and ready to try and make a serious challenge here for the Premier League title. Arsenal to come next weekend. Dare I suggest there's 22 minutes to go here. City, with Arsenal's loss yesterday, could really do with capitalising on goal difference. It's now 3 in favour of Arsenal. City still have Arsenal to play and a game in hand. It could be really important if City could go on and add another goal or two here. If we do end up beating Arsenal next weekend, and that's a big if, all of a sudden, Man City could go within 3 points of Arsenal with a game in hand and a better goal difference. Oh, there's a man in the crowd. He's got an Arsenal bottle, drinking from the Arsenal bottle. Oh man, that is funny. I like that. That is funny. Right, massive mistake. I don't even know who made the mistake for Chelsea. It's a Poznan that's erupted in that away end, and why would it not? 3-0 Manchester City, enjoying the sunshine on a Sunday afternoon in the capital. Manchester City, 3-0 up here, and I imagine they'll be looking for some more. We've got a week off and Arsenal got to play in the Champions League. Got some work to do against Sporting CP. Only a goal in it. So yeah, spot on, Andy. Cross comes in from Chelsea, headed down, and there's an opportunity for Chelsea there. Was an opportunity that for Chelsea. Right, guys, we're 41 likes away from 100 likes. Any help towards that would be great. It'd be great if we could make some gains on that in the next 20 minutes or so. Don't forget to subscribe and do go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by My Best 11 Pro. Links and details, they are in the description. Poor giveaway, that from City. Poor giveaway. You know, we're 3-0 up. Can't afford to do anything stupid. Here's Pedro Neto. Move to the right-hand side. Cross comes in. Header should be won by Nunes and is. Chelsea now just getting bodies forward, having shots, and they're trying to make something happen. Pedro Neto, good tackle from Ait-Nouri. Ait-Nouri's looked good, looked sharp since coming on, which is good. And if O'Reilly's injury, if it's hamstring, it's weeks rather than days. Rodri's gone down now, holding his foot. He's hurt. Cucurella with the effort, and it's just wide. There's his fist in his mouth like Leonardo DiCaprio in The Wolf of Wall Street. Can't believe it. It's close there from Marc Cucurella, the Spanish left-back. Just dragged wide there. Not too far away. Tito, he has looked like the most dangerous player for Chelsea, most likely to make something happen. The disallowed goal, he's having shots, making things happen. He's just gone through the back of Rodri's heel there. Rodri's going to receive a bit of treatment. I can't imagine Man City will be in too much of a rush to, ensure that players are not okay to just continue in a game when they don't need to. If Rodri needs to come off and Nico Gonzalez needs to come on for the next 20 minutes as a precaution to make sure Rodri doesn't do anything else, then you'd go and do so. Big game coming up against Arsenal. I know we've got a week off, and I know you want to keep pushing for the goal difference, but you also don't want to take the risk that Rodri's taken a hit there, taken a knock, and an impact injury. You don't want it to get any worse. You want him to be well rested and recovered. Yeah, Rodri looks hurt. It looks like he wants to continue. He's milking this moment. Would you not? Would you not? 5 seconds of fame. Milk it. It was funny. Right. 17 minutes to go then. For Rodrigo. Does want to come back on. He's going to have to wait to come on. So Man City momentarily down to 10 men. Not the best of clearances that from Abdukodir Khusanov, and Rayan Cherki just ducks out the way of the ball, and João Pedro wins the header. Rodri's now got the instruction that he can come back on, so he's going to look to continue. Erling Haaland nearly wins the ball back from a weaker pass there from Garnacho. Here is João Pedro now. Not the best of passes, and will be mopped up by Manchester City. Bernardo Silva will get that one clear. I think Bernardo Silva would be one player I'd be looking at. Potentially coming off. Shot comes in blocked. Doesn't need to do the next 15 minutes and, run a risk of a yellow card and being suspended for next week. In particular, from maybe missing Nico O'Reilly. I wouldn't take the risk. Bernardo Silva. I'd probably say Rodri as well. Rodri and Bernardo would be two players I'd bring off. For me, I'd get Nico G on for Rodri. And I'd probably get either Tijjani Reijnders or Mateo Kovacic on for Bernardo Silva. Here is Abdukodir Khusanov again, just putting in a good, impressive performance. As we're now 36 likes away from 100. Let's get them likes up, guys. That'd be much appreciated. City winning 3-0 at Stamford Bridge. What's not to like? What is not to like? So beautiful diagonal ball in. Jeremy Doku should keep that one in. And he's got the support of Rayan Ait-Nouri as well. Good work that from Manchester City. Here's Bernardo Silva now to Marc Guehi. Here's Doku. Guehi worked across. Khusanov! Oh! I said before he has a rocket in him. And that were close from Abdukodir Khusanov. Wow. Cracker of an effort from the centre-back there. Put his foot through it. Desperately unlucky. And City are going to make a couple of changes. Firstly, it's going to be Erling Haaland. Rayan Cherki, not Erling Haaland. Why did I think Erling Haaland was number 10? Rayan Cherki going to be the first. And Doku's going to be the other that comes off for Manchester City. So Phil Foden's going to come on and Semenyo's going to come on. City now just looking to try and rest some legs in attack. So, Doku and Cherki are going to be two players that you would think are going to be starting next week against Arsenal. It's an opportunity here for Semenyo and Foden that when we get to playing every 3 to 4 days, when we get to, playing midweek every now and then. My man's really milking it. He's got a new top on now. Without Phil Foden. Rodri's back on the pitch. Rodri's fine. He's moving all right. Surprised City are taking the risk, in particular keeping Bernardo Silva on the pitch. Maybe they might make that change again in a few minutes' time. Is Ait-Nouri. Rodri plays a pass in. Foden drops a shoulder. Drops it well. Yeah, it's important now for Foden and Semenyo. They want to be going to the World Cup. Given the minutes, they've got to make things happen. And I'm looking towards Semenyo and Foden. We want to make gains on goal difference. So I'm looking for them to make things happen, to assist and score goals. Cooper have already had a Poznan that's been hit. I won't rule out maybe another one hitting as well. Here's 13 minutes to go. Then Man City leading by 3-0 here as we're now 32 likes away from 100. Not too sure FSG what's going to happen with O'Reilly. He went down the bench. He's not come back out since. So I presume he's continuing to get some treatments from the physios in the dressing room. Which is, I'm hoping it's maybe just like an overstretch and given a couple of days off, it'll be moving loosely, moving freely, I hope. Because having O'Reilly would be, he's a fantastic player. You need him for your biggest and best games against Arsenal in title games. You need your best players, and I'd class O'Reilly as being one of Man City's best this season. So, yeah. Right, game's kind of fizzling out since City have picked up their third goal. As I said, this is where I'm looking towards. Games, it's done and dusted. Are Chelsea going to score 3 in 10 minutes? You wouldn't have thought so. They're running, they're trying. At some point, there'll be a drop-off, and it's important that while there's exposed gaps there, that Man City look to try and exploit it. And if there's an extra goal or two that can be scored, you score them extra goal or two. You can turn a 3-0 into a 4 or 5-0. Could be the big difference in the goal in that race with goal difference. Here's Ait-Nouri. Boy, he's looked good, Ait-Nouri, since coming on. Here's Semenyo. He fancies a shot, and it's over the top of the crossbar. Got carried away there. It's into the stands, and it remains 3-0 Manchester City. Sanchez then sends this one long. Header should be won by City. In the end, it's just mopped up by Nunes. Is Marc Guehi pushing forward for Manchester City. Goal scorer Man City's second goal. Semenyo kept himself onside, and there could be a chance here. Here's Antoine Semenyo. Semenyo with the effort, and it's tame from Antoine Semenyo. He fancies a goal, but not got it as of yet, and looks frustrated with himself. Thank you very much, Dave. Says I'm 6 out of 9 on my results. Much less scruffy than I predicted. Not got correct scores, I don't think. Not done too bad in terms of results. But not got a correct score yet. Still got thingy to go yet. The Man United Leeds game tomorrow night at Old Trafford. Next change then for Manchester City. And it is, of no surprise, going to be Bernardo Silva that's going to come off. And, more importantly, no yellow card for Bernardo Silva, which means, as long as he picks up no injuries between now and next Sunday, Bernardo Silva can start against Arsenal. It's been a bit of a worry that's been going on for a little while, but there won't be a 2-game suspension in place for that Arsenal game. Bernardo Silva comes off and Mateo Kovacic comes on. So the next player I'd be protecting would be Rodri for me. Rodri would be my next player to protect. Chelsea are going to make a couple more changes. Looking a bit disorientated now. Brilliant to see Kovacic, been out since November, back for Manchester City. Against his former team, Chelsea. Caicedo is going to come off for Chelsea. Alongside João Pedro, and it's going to be former City man Liam Delap, along with Esugo that comes on for Chelsea for the remaining 9 minutes, plus whatever's to be added on. Don't forget, guys, then, leave a thumbs up. Just 32 likes away from 100. Any help towards that would be great. Do subscribe and do go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by My Best 11 Pro. Links and details, they are in the description. I think Semenyo looks most likely to score next, I'd say, for Man City. We're still, even though we've scored 3 goals, not found too many ways of getting Erling Haaland involved in this game, but they've not really needed to. It's been about the other players. Remember in the first half of the season about the over-reliance on goals coming in from Erling Haaland and a desire for Man City to have other players chipping. It's why, players like Semenyo were brought in, because they can score the goals. And, that's what's happened here. The opportunities when they've arisen have been taken. O'Reilly scoring his opportunity, Guehi scoring his, and Jeremy Doku with a well-taken goal as well, which is good to see. It's Cucurella. Oh, it's a brilliant save from Donnarumma. You see, Donnarumma, and I'm happy that Andrew's made the point there. I feel like Donnarumma's upped his game. He's making them big saves. He's been brought in to be this great shot-stopping goalkeeper in the big moments, pulling off the big saves. Goal difference, very important. Every save important. Keeping these clean sheets, they're important. And, that's why we brought Donnarumma in to do that. And James Trafford, for me, has helped Donnarumma to push his level, to say, you can't just sit back, relax and say, I'm Man City's #1 goalkeeper. That's that. You've got to earn your start. Chelsea should get a free kick here, edge of the penalty area, and do. Silly free kick given away that by Manchester City. So it looks sharp here, Donnarumma, and I'd be delighted if he could keep a clean sheet and keep his clean sheet intact for full time. So slightly late on Gusto there from Rayan Ait-Nouri. And that'll be a free kick here for Chelsea. Slightly over the top of the ball. Has he escaped a yellow card there? He's lucky if he's not got a card for it. Nasty challenge that on Gusto. Walking a bit lightly. So Cole Palmer stood over this. Good with his set pieces, good with his free kicks, Cole Palmer. And this is a perfect position for someone as good as Cole Palmer here to make something happen. Remember the importance of goal difference. We could do with Cole Palmer not scoring this one. Donnarumma wants to keep his clean sheet. It's a big opportunity, this one, for Chelsea to keep them in the game still, but also make a little dint on Man City's goal difference. Palmer stood over this. Neto's there. Garnacho's there. There's a huge 5-man wall and a Semenyo lying down in front. Donnarumma's got his right-hand side covered, so it's all about, can Palmer get this up and over? About 20 yards out. Palmer looks to go through the wall, and Donnarumma, I said, always had that side covered, and bit of a tame effort, that one from Cole Palmer. Just opened up. Nunes does well just to pull his foot out of the way. Trust his goalkeeper to say it's going to be a shot on target, but your goalkeeper's going to make the save. And Big Donna, he makes the save there for Manchester City. Here's Antoine Semenyo. Tries to find his pass to Haaland, but can't. Semenyo's going to combine here and win the ball back. What can Haaland do then? Haaland centralises himself. Not really got anywhere to go and just runs into traffic, and it's a good tackle from Chelsea. It's been Chelsea have been competitive. It's just been City have been really clinical in this second half. Really clinical. Here's Ait-Nouri. It's a good point, Seamus. Trafford I'd expect probably to be going to the World Cup. So having Donnarumma, fully fit, refreshed and ready to go for the new season could be key, and I'm expecting probably Trafford will be the goalkeeper that leaves in the summer rather than Donnarumma, so that could be quite important. Corner then for Man City. 5 minutes to go. City have got one substitution remaining, by the way. I was just mentioning that as importance for who Man City may want to just keep fit and ready as a good indication about who starts next week against Arsenal. Ait-Nouri, I said, takes a good corner. Let's see what he can do. Corner comes in, misses everybody and goes to the outside where Sav will mop that one up. Here is Nunes. Phil Foden wanted it. It's good to see, you know, likes of Foden and Ait-Nouri getting given their opportunity, and they want to be involved, asking for the ball, asking to try and make things happen. As we're 31 likes, guys, away from 100. Any help towards that would be great. Do subscribe and do go and check out today's video sponsor, My Best 11 Pro. Links and details there in the description. Ait-Nouri looks to put a ball in. Good block and out for another corner to Manchester City. So with time running out, I think the question is, can Man City find a goal? As Noel Gallagher in the away end for Manchester City, making his way out of the stadium. Wants to leave early, for he feels like he might get bombarded. Corner them. Foden to take. Haaland with the header, it's glanced, and Delap will just get that one clear. That was an opportunity for Manchester City there. It'll be a throw-in instead for City. Stamford Bridge starting to empty, so City will be picking up the 3 points. They will be capitalising on Arsenal. And we want to make some gains on that goal difference. We've made 3 gains here. Arsenal lost 1 yesterday, so 4 gains on the goal difference. Kovacic to Semenyo. Semenyo just chips one up, looking for Haaland. Here's Semenyo, and a free kick given against Haaland there. Haaland just shrugs, says, don't really see what I did wrong there, but here we are. Chelsea going to make that. Is this their final substitution, I think? Yeah, final substitution. Took an impact hit before Gusto, so he's going to come off. And Achimpong's going to come on for Chelsea. Was linked with a move to Man City, weren't he, Achimpong, last summer. When Kyle Walker had left and was getting linked with her homegrown defenders being brought in. And Achimpong was one player that was of interest to Manchester City. Right, long ball sent forward from Sanchez. Oh, it's not dealt with by City here. Here is Garnacho, looks to square one across. Good block, and Donnarumma's going to keep that one in. No corner for Chelsea either. Says just slow it down. It's just, as I said before, you know, we want Man City to score a goal. It's just as important that we keep hold of the clean sheet. We've got the +3. Disappointing not to make gains in the final, 15 minutes or so on the goal difference when it's there to be capitalised upon. But it's also important that you don't concede. You know, Man City have got, you know, serious things rolling in their favour for this week. Capitalise on it, you know, roll with it. Haaland tracking back. Great work from Haaland on Cole Palmer there. And City still looking to try and attack and make things happen. Here's Semenyo. Good work from Antoine Semenyo. Really good work from Semenyo. Good defending from Achimpong, and that'll be a throw-in for Man City with 1 minute to go. I'm not sure how long it's going to get added on. I imagine, normally I'd say they're not going to add much on. The game's done and dusted, but they'll be weary about managers moaning about the goal difference thing, so they'll just add on what they think is appropriate. And, you know, 3 goals, all the substitutions made, you're probably looking at 5 or 6 minutes. Here's Semenyo. Ball comes in. Not the best of balls in. Will be mopped up by Ait-Nouri. Here is Guehi. It's been brilliant for City today. Kovacic. Oh, Foden can't find Guehi. Unlucky. Yeah. Semenyo's been much better second half. Guehi's had a brilliant performance. It's got to be Rayan Cherki. Again. The creativity is a nuisance. The kind of things that he creates and does for the team. It's incredible. It's scintillating. He's my JSGC man of the match. Absolutely. Right. 7 seconds then remaining of normal time. Sanchez is going to send this one long for Chelsea. How long is going to be added on is the next question. I'm going to go 5 minutes. 8 minutes. You see, I said to try and be fair. I did say they'll try and be fair. And so City will get themselves a throw-in. Yeah, I did say they'd try and be fair and say, you know, we don't want anyone complaining about goal difference and, you know, you got 8 minutes here to maybe score a goal. Also, 8 minutes to make sure we don't concede a goal as well. Foden then finds Abdukodir Khusanov. Worked across to Ait-Nouri. Plays a ball into the channel looking for Semenyo. He sprints after it, but it's going to run out of room and it's going to go out for a throw-in to Chelsea. So it's 3-goal difference between Man City and Arsenal. I was hoping that we could score another goal just because if we win next week, and we win by 1, we'll catch Arsenal's goal difference. Which means if we win our game in hand, we'll go ahead of Arsenal. Because obviously we'll pick up at least +1 through winning the game in hand. So, 7 minutes. Important we keep a clean sheet. I'm hoping we can get another. Here's Foden. He goes down. Haaland! Great block. It's just not been for Haaland. Just not quite been for him. As we're still 31 likes, guys, away from 100. Any help towards that would be great. Do subscribe as well. That would be much appreciated. Plenty more City content to come. I will be within an hour of ending the live stream, doing my match reaction, giving more of my thoughts from this game. So do stay tuned to that one, guys. That'd be much appreciated. We've got all the build-up to the Arsenal game and all the regular content coming over the next week or so, including a transfer update or 2 for you guys to enjoy as well. So plenty of content to come throughout the next week, as we've got build-up now to that huge title decider, you would think, next weekend between Manchester City and Arsenal. Retro, thanks for tuning in. Is a massive title decider. Foden. Good passing to find Haaland. Is Ait-Nouri. Eventually he'll come away with the ball. It's a good challenge though, and it's a bit scrappy from Chelsea. But Palmer's going to mop this one up. Ait-Nouri puts a little push into the back. Palmer continuing to try and make something happen. Here's Pedro Neto then. Chelsea have got 2 in the box to aim for. Guehi, good defending from Guehi. Good defending from Guehi. He's not managed to get the ball back though, and Chelsea are going to come away with it. Here's Cucurella, one of the most lively players for Chelsea today. With 5 minutes remaining here. As we're now 29 likes away from 100. There's Cole Palmer. Achimpong. So she's just choosing to have the bodies. You know the importance here of holding this clean sheet. Concentration's got to be to a max. Ball gets chipped in. City want the offside flag and get the offside flag. Kovacic. So I'm going to take my time here. I'm not going to rush this one. I'm not going to take a risk of catching us out. We're just going to keep the possession. We're 3-0 up. We want to keep hold of the clean sheet. I'm not going to try and force a goal that might not be there, or force an opportunity that might not be there at the risk of, maybe City giving a goal away, or a good opportunity at least. Guehi protects the ball on Liam Delap and will get a free kick. Marc Guehi. I'm not surprised to see Marc Guehi given the man of the match by Sky Sports. I said he was a close second for me. Here's Phil Foden to Kovacic. Back to Foden. Here's Rodri. Gives the ball very well to Marc Guehi. And it is Guehi then coming forward to Ait-Nouri. There's options in the box. Haaland's one of them. Gets a head onto it. Over to Semenyo. Can get it under control. Cross is coming in. Looking for Haaland. Gets a header and a good save from Robert Sanchez. Haaland smiles. As I said, it's just not looking like it's going to be Haaland's day. As we're now 28 likes away from 100. Right, in preparation of the full-time whistle, guys, don't forget, please do leave a thumbs up. That would be much appreciated. Aiming for 100 likes. Any help towards that would be great. Do subscribe as well if you're new around here. That would be much appreciated. And also don't forget to go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by My Best 11 Pro. Links and details, they are in the description. Mullen, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Tito says, Haaland getting weary that Thiago closing on it. Well, how many behind is he? Right, City have been given a corner from the keeper keeping hold of it for too long. You don't see that punished very often. Can City punish Chelsea for it? Corner comes in. Bit of scrambling going on in the penalty area, and referee says Marc Cucurella can have a free kick. Haaland's like, why has he got a free kick? Can't believe it. 26 likes away from 100 likes. Also, don't forget, guys, my social media links there in the description if you want to go and follow me on my X, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too. If you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And if you're watching this after the stream, then do get your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're watching right now, then what are your thoughts on this? What are you thinking ahead of the game against Arsenal? Do let me know in the chat. And a big thank you to everybody that has interacted with me on today's stream. It is much appreciated. And also a big thank you to everybody that's checked out my Best 11 Pro as well, today's live stream sponsor. Andy Man, Nico O'Reilly is on the bench, come back from the tunnel, received his physio treatment, so hopefully just a precaution. You know, he's had his treatment, give him a couple of days off, and we'll see how he responds and recovers going into next week ahead of the game against Arsenal and see if he's in contention for that. He's only one goal behind Haaland. Yeah, Haaland will be hungry for some goals then. He will be hungry for some goals. He'll be happy off scoring a hat-trick last weekend against Liverpool, so he'll be looking to try and cement and get some more goals between now and the end of the season, which you always fancy Haaland will do. So it's not quite been his afternoon today as Pedro Neto. It's beautiful defending from Antoine Semenyo. A heavier touch there from Semenyo, but Kovacic, he looked like he should have had that one covered. Cole Palmer has his pockets picked by Phil Foden. Donnarumma keeps hold of the ball, will find his pass to Rayan Ait-Nouri, and Man City will get this one clear, you would think. Rodri chips a ball into Phil Foden. Good touch there from Phil Foden. But given away from a Man City point of view. So Chelsea could have the last opportunity of the game. At the moment, on course for the 3 points and the clean sheet. Brian, thank you very much for your kind comment. Much appreciated. Here's Cole Palmer. Can't find his pass. Haaland. Twists and turns. And Kovacic is just taken out. Yeah, yellow card every day of the week. Every day of the week. And that probably will end the game as well. As Hugo goes into the book. Clinical challenge just takes out Kovacic to stop any potential Manchester City attack. As clear of a yellow card as you're ever going to see, as we're now just 24 likes away from 100, guys. Any help towards that would be great. Right, and there is the full-time whistle. Manchester City make 3 points and 3 goal difference gain on Arsenal today. Manchester City, 3 goal difference behind Arsenal, 6 points behind Arsenal in the league, with a game in hand against Crystal Palace at home to come at some point, and we play Arsenal next weekend, where you imagine winner of that game, probably the favourite for the Premier League title. So Arsenal hold the advantage, showing signs of crumbling. They're playing midweek in the Champions League. Manchester City got some work to do, obviously, in the game against Arsenal next weekend. And we await to see what happens with Arsenal in terms of their recovery and condition of their players ahead of them playing Sporting CP in the Champions League. Arsenal playing midweek, that game taking place on Wednesday. So Arsenal's full focus will be right now on the Champions League and trying to progress to the Champions League semi-final. It does mean that Arsenal, whilst Man City have got 7 days worth of preparation for that game against Arsenal, players will probably be given a couple of days off. Plenty of time for our players to rest and regroup, which is the advantage we have of going out of the Champions League. Obviously, we'd prefer to be in the Champions League and playing and trying to win big trophies, but here we are. In the meantime, Manchester City hold the possibilities and the slight advantage in being well rested ahead of their game. Could be very important, might not be very important. We'll have to wait and see. But for today, City going to celebrate. 6 points behind Arsenal. Some gains have been made. Arsenal lost yesterday. City have won. We've made, over the course of the weekend, 4 goal difference gain on Arsenal. 3 goal difference remains. 6 points behind. We've got a game in hand to come against Crystal Palace at home. And we've got Arsenal to play next weekend. Massive game to come. We'll have all the build-up to that, of course, for you guys to enjoy. So don't forget to stick around. Do subscribe if you haven't done so already. Social media links are in the description. Get your thoughts in the comments below. Also, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. We're aiming for 100 likes, 23 likes to go. Any help towards that in the post-production would be much appreciated. And do go check out my Best 11 Pro links and details. They are in the description. Mullen, thank you very much for your kind comment. Seamus, you are more than welcome. See you next weekend. And Andy Man as well, thank you very much for your kind comment. See you then. Brian, thank you for your kind comment too. It is much appreciated, and thank you to everybody for tuning in and interacting with me and making it a brilliant live watch along once more. It is much appreciated. I'll see you next weekend. Arsenal at home. Massive title decider. Bring it on, guys. Thanks for watching. I've been JSGC. Julia, you're more than welcome. Peace. Ciao for now.